Okay, so we've just hit the second wave of DC Next Level, or All In, or whatever you want to call it. So we've got some more books coming in this month. This is the first issue of Deathstroke the Terminator with a Jorge Corona cover. He of Transformers fame, particularly nice. And then we get the interior cover and all, which I think is very, very nice as well. I don't know why they do that, but anyway, doesn't matter. So this isn't too bad. Wintergreen has gone to see Ravager um, and talk to her about Deathstroke. Meanwhile, Deathstroke's on this mission, and he's chatting to Wintergreen over the course of it about meeting with Ravager, and you need to kind of talk to her and all this kind of stuff as well. And Deathstroke's kind of trying to concentrate on the job at hand, and he says, "Right, you need to do it silently. And the guy, Deathstroke's like, "Yeah, you don't get to tell me how I assassinate people. It gets to be my choice. I get to decide how it's going to happen. Um, they want it quiet. Yeah, that's not going to be the way I'm going to do it." I love the fact that he's got his staff back that extends. I don't think he's had that recently. I could be wrong. Anyway, so off he goes, charges off the top of a building in this ambulance or wherever it is, and comes smashing in. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't go particularly well. So he takes his guy out that he actually trying to assassinate, and then he's fallen upon by loads of guys. And there was a little bit in here which was a little bit confusing. So, and this is quite funny as well. This guy takes a phone call from the right. There's there's someone heading towards the bike. It's like, oh crap, okay. And he obviously gets on the phone call, basically saying that you know somebody's just taken out the boss and what's going on. And it's like, yeah, I'm just going to go for a walk for 5 minutes. I'll be back in a little while. So what happened? Oh, they said there's a bike on the way. Don't worry about it. It's nothing important. He's trying to get there as quick as possible. Unfortunately, that doesn't end well for him either. But give a little bit of background for Deathstroke. I still prefer the Deathstroke costume from way back rather than the armored costume, but it kind of makes sense, I suppose, nowadays. Um, anyway, so they got these people called the body doubles, which are apparently clones, and they apparently got this healing factor. So Deathstroke's like, okay, you got a healing factor, fantastic. I can give you a good kick in and not worry too much about it. And obviously, he's got his healing factor as well. Um, Meanwhile, it seems to be that this is the bit I don't understand because he does the assassination, then he's kind of at where Wintergreen's supposed to be to give the information. I don't quite get why that is a thing. I thought he'd get it over and done with, but he kind of skips from there to go and see Wintergreen. Unfortunately, it would appear that Wintergreen has been killed. We'll check now because I'm going. Yeah, right. Double check. Make sure his name is Wintergreen. Yeah, I thought it was always Wintergreen. Anyway, Wintergreen's dead. And it turns out that somebody. It might not have been him who was talking to first of all, but it might have been a recorded message, and every single bank account that he was managing for Deathstroke has been drained to zero. Um, and this is what I don't get why he's in the room and they're still following him. I don't get that bit. Anyway, the guys turn up and he's explaining to Rose like, "Oh, yeah, he used to be assassin. It's like, oh yeah, now I'm worse than I ever was. Or now I'm just a killer. Now I'm something worse." Which would seem to suggest to me that this is going to be a whole revenge gig kind of thing going on where he's going to try and find the killer of Wintergreen. That's going to be, he's John Wick in it basically. Wintergreen's his puppy. He's gonna do revenge for, which again, perfectly good motivation. I quite like Wintergreen's character, which is a shame. But it makes sense. Um, so yeah, so all in all, not a bad start to Deathstroke. I actually thought it was pretty good. Artwork's very, very nice. Writing's very, very nice. We've got a hook that immediately goes, oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Rather than kind of anything of kind of, just vagueness. Um, so all in all, yeah, a very good start for this one. So we'll keep with this one for a little while and see how it goes. They are saying, I believe they're saying these are ongoings. I could be wrong. But I think there's a thing where they have to sell so many in 3 or 4 issues and then they get extended and it might be an 8 issue, it might be a 12 issue, whatever. Um, and again, that's fine. I'd rather see issue series, sorry, go 25 issues, excellent, than 150 issues where the last 75, like, well, it was all right, but Immortal Hulk, 50 issues, really, really good. And it did the job, and rather than kind of drag it out, I know they got a Hulk series straight afterwards, but that kind of redefined what was going on. But those kind of runs are really, really cool. And again, and we obviously see that like the classic stuff where issue 300 of Daredevil. I would love that to happen. I would love to see a Deathstroke thing that goes, but with the creatives, they change it. They always worry about a new number one. you know, and even then we had kind of low points. There's always like, oh, okay, whatever, and who did Spider-Man issue 25 onwards wasn't, so you know, just make it good is basically what I'm saying. Just make this a good series. If it lasts 8 issues and it's solid, I'd rather see that than it kind of just dribble away at the end and just be kind of pointless. So yeah, good stuff. So yeah, we've got one more DC next level all in book to look at, which is Lobo. And then I think in week after next or next week we have the one I'm actually looking forward to more than anything else is Firestorm, and possibly a demon as well. I think I'm probably going to grab all the demon and see what that's like. So we'll just see. But yeah, all in all, a decent start for this second wave for sure. So there you go. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling for now. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Bye bye.